Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to talk about temporal fossa. So let's start our topic with introduction. Temporal fossa is a shallow depression that is located on the lateral side of the skull. It serves as an important anatomical region because it accommodates the temporalis muscle, that is a key muscle that is involved in chewing or mastication. This fossa is formed by several cranial bones and is bounded by distinct anatomical landmarks. Understanding its structure and content is essential in anatomy, dentistry, and clinical medicine. Location of temporal fossa. Temporal fossa is situated at the lateral aspect of the skull, above the zygomatic arch and below the temporal lines. It is continuous inferiorly with the infratemporal fossa, that is a deeper space beneath it. Boundaries of temporal fossa. It has superior and posterior boundary. It has anterior boundary, inferior boundary, and medial boundary and lateral boundary, that is also called as floor and roof. Now let's talk about these boundaries of temporal fossa one by one. So first boundary of temporal fossa is superior and posterior boundary. This boundary is formed by superior temporal line, that is an arching ridge on the parietal bone and frontal bone. Next boundary is anterior boundary, that is formed by frontal process of zygomatic bone and zygomatic process of frontal bone. Next boundary is inferior boundary, that is formed by zygomatic arch, which separate it from the infratemporal fossa. Next boundary is medial boundary, that is also called as floor. It is composed of parts of frontal bone, parietal bone, temporal bone, and sphenoid bone. Next boundary is lateral boundary, that is also called as roof. It is covered by temporal fascia, that is a strong fibrous sheath attached superiorly to the superior temporal line and inferiorly to the zygomatic arch. Contents of temporal fossa. Temporal fossa contains temporalis muscle, that is a broad fan-shaped muscle. This is responsible for elevating and retracting the mandible, or that is closing of the jaw. It has deep temporal nerves that are branches of mandibular division of trigeminal nerve, which innervates the temporalis muscle. It has deep temporal artery and veins that are branches of maxillary artery and vein that supply the temporalis muscle. It has middle temporal artery, that is a branch of superficial temporal artery. And it has temporal fascia, that is covering of the temporalis muscle that provide protection and structural support. Functions of temporal bone. First function is muscle accommodation. Temporal fossa provides space for the temporalis muscle, which plays a vital role in mastication. Second function of temporal fossa is pathway for neurovascular structure, as this fossa allows passage of nerves and vessels that supply the temporalis muscle. Third function of temporal fossa is structural division, as this fossa forms an anatomical landmark that separates the temporal region from the infratemporal fossa. Clinical significance of temporal fossa. Fractures or infection in this area can affect chewing, and that these infection may spread to deeper cranial spaces. Conclusion of this lecture video. Temporal fossa is a shallow depression on the side of skull that houses the temporalis muscles, that is an important neurovascular structure. And it is bounded by the temporal line, zygomatic arch, and cranial bones. And this plays a central role in mastication and clinical anatomy. Its continuity with the infratemporal fossa makes it an important anatomical region for surgeons, dentists, and clinicians. And this was all about temporal fossa. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching.